All right, welcome back to another video. Today we have the Star Wars 6-inch Black Series 4 loom. Now, this figure you can find, I'd say, for a pretty decent price. Most places like Amazon for $15. So, in spoiler alert, it's good. You know, $15. It's not a bad deal. You know, I think 4-loom's got a cool design, so I got it. You know, I like droids and whatnot. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So starting off with the accessory. No, stay up, pal. Don't you dare knock yourself over. There we go. Thanks. Just point to the air, pal. So we've got a modified MG34 here. That's what the original gun was. They just removed, like, or no, wait, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe this isn't the MG34. Maybe this is the dinner plate gun. No, this isn't the Lewis. This is absolutely an MG34. You could even see the hinge of the stock there, because the stock, well, in real life is supposed to fold, I suppose. So yeah, they just, wait, does it even have, yep, there it is. There it is. There's where the ammo goes and expels through there. But yeah, it's all right piece, I suppose. I think the trigger guard is, or I think the trigger is way too fat on the gun, and the gun's really weird looking. It's like this cosmic sparkle to it. It's very bizarre. It's almost translucent. You know, I don't know why it is that way. Like the plastic, it's like a translucent sparkle to it. It's not really a solid black color, so it's pretty weird. But moving on to the figure itself, starting out, we have the head. This is a pretty typical Bugoid, so I guess average Redditor or Funko Pop enthusiast, you know, head with this really cool sort of like a mouthpiece here. You know, you got various bits and pieces there. Really great sculpt on the eyes. And again, this is the 6-inch scale. So this is pretty much in scale with all the other Marvel Legends or whoever the hell does 6-inch scale anymore. Probably some random indie toy company, I don't know. We've got the, you know, more decent sculpting in the back. And then kind of odd, you know, because like this, the head doesn't look like it belongs on this body, but we'll move on to the body now. Got this random red streak here, you know, got this almost sort of like rusting body here, you know, it almost looks like it's dirty and rusting, so really cool black. It's got the typical C-3PO body here with, you know, the sort of vent, or I mean tube covering with various wires going throughout it. The traditional circle, the sort of battery back. Then you got the sort of shoulders, sleeves there, and then you got the traditional typical hydraulic arms. This one's not connected for various reasons, I suppose. You know, then we got the fingers. Now, the paint does get a bit sloppy here. It just looks like they threw the rusted colors or wherever the hell they wanted to. But, you know, we got a trigger hand and just a traditional holding hand. Then moving on to the legs, we've got more of the base plates and whatnot. I like to kind of hit the seam with the sculpt here. It's really nice. Then we got the knees. Really well done. Traditional C-3PO legs. Oh, these, I'll get to these in a bit, but there's a reason why they look almost out of place, or they look separate and like they were thrown on. You'll see why. And then we've got the traditional feet and whatnot. So yeah, pretty decent sculpt. Paint job's a bit messy because they just overused the sort of rusty colors, but it's fine. It is what it is. So for articulation, we've got a really great feeling ball jointed head. I love it. Really great. You know, you can get a very good all-around motion, pretty far down, pretty decently far up. Tilt, swivel. Shoulders are a bit weird, but the sleeve itself moves forward and back, so it swivels. The arms, they move out to the, you know, to the limits of the sleeve, and they can move independently of the sleeve. You know, I can move it here or whatnot, but because of the sculpt of the sleeve, you're going to end up dragging the sleeve around. So there's also a bicep swivel, and the hydraulics do limit it quite a bit. but there is a bit of an elbow bend here. Maybe, can I get a bit more motion in the other arm here? No. Oh, actually, yeah. So, see, no, give me my cleft back. Yeah, so you can pretty much extend it to like a 45-degree angle to a 90. Here, though, for some reason, it's not leaving the 90-degree angle very easily. But yeah, there's a hinge, swivel, or I thought there was. Oh, wait, no, because I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, there's sort of a downward hinge here, so you can only tilt it, the hand up and down and swivel. Whereas this one, you can just straight up, like, hinge it this, hinge it that way and swivel it. There's a ball joint in the mid-torso section, so you can really get him to look all the way up with it. Not very far down. A slight tilt, somewhat round, and then mostly a swivel. So legs, they're on ball joints, it looks like, so you can get them to go out to a degree, surprisingly so, because the plastic here is a bit malleable. All the way forward, not very far back. There is a swivel at the thigh, bend at the knee, not very far though, but typical to be expected. Now you might be wondering, well, this breaks the sculpt, man. That's a bummer. It jets out. Well, because this, now I gotta be careful because these do look like they're rather easy to break. I already got stress marks on one of these. See, you can actually twist them so that way you can put them so that way it doesn't break the sculpt anywhere near as much. So really, really cool idea. And then there's a sort of hinge at the base of the foot there / ankle pivot. Now, with all that said, what do I think of the figure? I think it's a solid release. It's good. I don't think it's revolutionizing anything, If you like the design of the character or the look of the character, or you're one of the completionist soys who's got all the figures, of Star Wars on his wall, even though, the franchise has gone to shit, admittedly. Yeah, I like it, $15 on Amazon or however much he's going for now. Not bad, not bad. So, with that said, I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.